Now, what is this? I mean, the systems look the same. You said they're similar. Is this the point system that we hear about?
Yeah. So let me give you a little bit more information about that point system. So in Canada, that point system is called Express Entry. Express Entry is a case management system for the purpose of immigrating to Canada as a permanent resident. So in Canada, unlike the U.S., for those who are skilled worker, they're able to immigrate directly without having a employer sponsor or a job offer in Canada. So under Express Entry, there are actually three different programs. The common ones that most people use is first one is called the Canadian Experience Class. The Canadian Experience Class is for those who have worked in Canada for 1 year in a skilled occupation, and then they also pass the English or French exam. So once you meet that basic requirement, then you create an online express entry profile, and depending on the points allocated to you, you may receive an invitation to apply for permanent residency. So points are awarded for your age, your education, your work experience, a number of different factors. So every 2 weeks, like there is a random draw. So if your points are high enough, you receive an invitation. Then you would have 60 days to submit a complete permanent application. These applications are usually processed within 60 minutes. So it's actually quite quick, a quick and efficient way to immigrate as permanent residents. So from the Australian perspective, the program is actually called Skill Select. Canada implemented this program in about 2015, and it was originally a replication of the concept from Australia. So in Australia, it's also a point-based system, but instead, what they have is like they have a list of occupations that they accept. But for Canada, instead, we look at your job to see if it fall under the national occupation classification in category 0, A, or B. So in Canada, there's just a little bit more flexibility in terms of the occupations that can be accepted.
Now, one
Um,
other. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, John, I just
Just
want to
yeah.
mention that currently, right now, with the pandemic, a lot of people who want to immigrate under a separate category called the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So imagine someone's kind of like overseas right now, for example, like in the US or Australia or the UK, they want to use their foreign work experience to immigrate. But in the past, like 12, 13 months, the Canadian government has not been issuing any invitation to apply on express entry for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So a lot of time, like what they would need to do is to have a job offer to see if they're able to obtain a work permit. And then once they obtain a work permit, they could immigrate under the Canadian Experience Class, because the Canadian government is really focusing on helping those who are currently in Canada during the pandemic to transition to permanent residency. So that's the focus for the upcoming few more months during the pandemic.
Yeah, there's a big switch. To really, the more people are in Canada, we're getting hookups, but the ones outside, we're getting really bad end of the stick on that.
Yeah, I just give you like an interesting example. Typically speaking, like express entry, regardless if it's under the Federal Skilled Worker Program or the Canadian Experience Class, the points required were usually quite high. It ranges between 450 to 470 points on average. But in February of this year, the minimum points required was actually just 75 points. So if you create a profile, yeah, 75 points, you would have received an invitation to apply for permanent residency. And the intention behind that was the government really wanted to reach the annual immigration quota of over 400,000 new immigrants. So in order for the Canadian government to achieve that, they gave out invitations to almost everyone, and for that reason, that's why sometimes we recommend to client that your points may not be competitive, but because we're still in a pandemic and there is no sight of when the pandemic may be over, the best thing to do is to just meet basic program requirement and have that profile there. That profile is valid for 12 months, and it doesn't cost any money to create a profile.
It goes to show with immigration, we have clients who have no chance today, and then tomorrow, a flip of a switch, everything changes. It's all over the world. This stuff happens.